Now, students, let us discuss how the non-cooperation movement proceeded in towns and cities. Yesterday, you had learned that the non-cooperation movement was to unfurl or unfold in three stages. The first stage was the surrender of titles. The second one was the triple boycott, that is the boycott of schools, colleges, legislatures, even the offices as well as the law courts. And the third stage was to launch a civil disobedience movement. So the NCM, which is the short form of non-cooperation movement, started with middle class participation in the cities. Thousands of students left government-controlled schools and colleges. Headmasters and teachers resigned, and lawyers gave up their legal practices. Gandhiji had even given the call to boycott the council elections, and this was also done. The council elections were boycotted in most provinces except Madras. Why the council elections were not boycotted here? The reason was that there was a Justice Party, which was a party of the non-Brahmins. So the Justice Party felt that entering the council was one way of gaining some power, something that usually only Brahmins have had access to. So what this means here is that the Justice Party, which was a party of non-Brahmins, decided to contest the elections because they knew that there was no one in their opposition. The other parties had decided to boycott the elections. So it was a time it was a time when they would win the election, and as a result of this, they would be able to enter the councils and they would be able to make laws for their welfare. This is an important question. Effects of non-cooperation or NCM on the economic front. Economic front means as far as the income is concerned, money is concerned. So what were the effects of the non-cooperation movement on the economic front? The effects of the NCM on the economic front were more dramatic. Foreign goods were boycotted. At that time, the Indians decided that they would not be buying the foreign goods. They started boycotting the foreign goods. Liquor shops were picketed. Picketed is a new form of agitation that was adopted at that time. To picket a shop means that generally the students and the ladies, the women used to stand in front of the shops, and whoever wanted to go inside to buy the various goods, they used to stop them from going inside. They used to request them that since they wanted to buy some product, it was better if they did not buy the products made in the British industry, then instead they could go to another place and buy the Indian products. So picketing of shops means they used to stand in front of the shops and disallow the people to go inside and buy the products. Foreign cloth was brought from various homes. People took out the foreign cloth, foreign goods from their homes, and all these goods were burnt in huge bonfires. The import of foreign cloth halved. It reached almost half of what it was from 1921 to 1922. The value of foreign goods was the value dropped from about rupees 102 crore to rupees 57 crore. In many places, merchants and traders refused to trade in foreign goods or finance foreign trade. As the boycott movement spread, people began to give up the use of imported clothes, and they started wearing only Indian ones, as a result of which the production of Indian textile mills and handlooms went up. It got an impetus, it got encouragement because the demand for these goods increased. The non-cooperation movement had been going on successfully, but then it began to slow down. It began to slow down for a variety of reasons. The first reason was that when Gandhiji gave a call to the people to wear khadi cloth, hand-spun cloth, that proved to be more expensive than the cloth which was manufactured in the mills. So the khadi cloth, which was hand-spun, was more expensive than mass-produced mill cloth, and the poor people could not afford to buy it. Then How then could they boycott milk cloth for too long? Similarly, the boycott of British institutions posed a problem. The first problem was that khadi was expensive, so they could not buy that. So automatically they went back to buying the products made by the British industries. Then even the Gandhiji's call for boycott of British institutions also posed a problem. At the call of Gandhiji, the students left their schools and colleges, the teachers left their services in schools and colleges, lawyers even left their law courts. But for the movement to be successful, alternative Indian institutions had to be set up so that they could be used in place of the British ones. The students were made to sit at home. The parents took out their students from the schools and colleges. But for how long? They did not have Indian institutions at that time. There were not very many Indian institutions where the parents could send their children. So the Indian institutions were slow to come up. So the students and teachers who had come out in large numbers began to trickle down. Trickle down means like they started going back little by little. Slowly and slowly they started going back. They came out in large numbers, but when they did not have any job, when they did not find any alternative occupation, or the parents did not find any Indian institution to send their children to, then they started sending them back. Teachers and lawyers joined back their services because they did not find alternative occupations. Students and teachers began trickling back to government schools, and lawyers joined back work in government courts.